Welcome back to our channel. Today we're all about Thanksgiving prep. I think Thanksgiving, Megan, is like probably one of my most favorite holidays just because I'm all about gratitude. And what better way to share how much we love our food with all of our family.
Yeah, or how much we love all of our family through food.
Yes, exactly. So we're gonna just jump in today. We're making a vegan mushroom gravy because a lot of our family members are vegetarian or vegan or whatnot, and so
we primarily eat plant-based.
Yes, and we love having options at the table for everyone. You know, no one's left behind.
Yes.
So it's a vegan mushroom gravy.
Yes, and we're gonna turn this on. We're gonna start heating up the oil because what's gonna take the longest to cook down is all of the onions and the mushrooms for this gravy.
So in here went a cup of half a cup of olive oil.
Half a cup or a cup?
No, it's a half a cup of olive oil.
Okay, half a cup of olive oil.
Because normally when you make gravy, Meg, it's with a roux, and it's a fat and the flour, and that thickens the gravy. And typically when we use the turkey juices, that's what's making the flavoring. So we're gonna be making our own flavoring using the vegetables of the mushrooms, the gravy, and some herbs, fresh herbs and spices.
Okay.
All right, so in goes, now this is a half of an onion. It is about a half of a cup of onion. Oops, I see some, oh no, that's good.
Just mushrooms.
Yeah,
I saw some mushrooms in there, but they're all going in together.
And then this is a shallot here.
And shallots come in many different sizes. So shallots are like, we say like a hybrid from the garlic to an onion. It's a little bit more mild than garlic, and
it's in the same family as onions and garlic. It's kind of like a melding of two, which is really nice.
So you can do either a full cup of shallots, a full cup of onions, or like we're doing here is a half, because we just love all the different flavors.
And we love to show you all the different choices as well. So then we're gonna add 2 cups of porcini mushrooms, and I threw in a little shiitake because I had it in the refrigerator. And why not? Because it's really a mushroom, any kind of mushrooms. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna cover it right now so it just cooks down. And while it's covering, I wanna show you all the different mushrooms that you can use. All right, so a portobello comes in 2 sizes. The portobello is actually this giant one.
Yes.
And cremini that you see in the stores, this one, are little baby portobellos.
I didn't know that.
I know, I love it. I actually learned that from our friend Pamela Salzman, which we love.
Yes.
And so she shared that one day. I love that. And then shiitakes are one of our favorites too because they just have a great flavor.
Yes.
So,
and there's so many medicinal properties to them. We really love anything that has benefit, and shiitakes are one of those really...
They're wonderful. Exactly. So what you're going to do with your mushroom, I'm just going to show you here. You're going to, here, Meg, you hold this. This one doesn't have a really big stem on it, but this one does. Because we're using the mushroom, I like to just twist the stem out, and then we just dice it up. And that's all. Yeah, that you can take off. And then, do you see, I want to show you guys here. There's this stem right here. And I just take this knife, and I just kind of pop it out. And that's all you do. Let's just make sure this, we're not going to burn. I can't see that, Mike. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Our hot plate, it gets very hot.
Quickly!
It's perfect.
It's really good. So one of these makes about 1 cup. So you just, need a couple of that.
Yeah.
So then what we're gonna do is you can finely mince up, or you can take our wonderful little gadget here, which of course I love my gadgets.
Mincer.
This looks really good already. I'm gonna just stir it for a second, Mary. And what we're doing is we're trying to caramelize them, which means they're just getting nice and brown, because the browner they get, that's like when you bake that turkey and all those brown bits at the bottom. We're going for that. We want to get them nice and brown.
It's all the extra flavor.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna mince 1 garlic, and I'm gonna just put it in here, just for a little garlic flavor. And you can, if you're not a fan of garlic, you can totally just omit the garlic, which is fine.
We're showing you the extra version because you can decide to leave some out or do the full thing like we're doing here, and you really just see what works best for you.
Exactly. And so now what I'm going to add is a teaspoon of salt. All right. Put that away. And then we're gonna go ahead and add the fresh thyme. You can add thyme, you can also add rosemary or a combination of two depending on the flavors that you like going on. And so thyme leaves, this is like one little thyme leaf, all right?
A stalk.
A little, well, it's the stem, not a stalk.
Okay.
This is called a stem.
Okay.
And so you just take it and you hold the top and you just pull off and off comes the little leaves. And so all I did here, and this is what, you'll find a whole bunch.
Yes.
A whole bunch of them. And then
You'll just go through and do that for all of the little, all of the stems.
and then you'll see here,
And I always take this top piece where they kind of stick together, like use it all up.
exactly. And then I'm just pulling out little stems that, you don't want. And all I'm going to do is finely mince this up.
Now, if you don't have fresh thyme, you can use dried thyme.
And the trick with herbs, Meg, is that fresh is doubled. So if I'm using a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of fresh, all you need is a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon of the dried.
Yes.
Okay?
Stronger.
Yes. Yes, dried is stronger. And we love the trick that when you're using the dried, rub it
In your
between
hand,
your
and then put it
hands.
in because the oils in your hands start to open up the seasoning.
Exactly. So this is about 2 teaspoons. Let's see, I'm going to just measure it. Yep, about 2 teaspoons, totally. I'm just
Get
going
it all in.
absolutely. Yeah, and just put this right here. Put it all in there. That's perfect, Meg. And
Now
it's
what?
starting to brown.
It
Which
smells
is
really
great.
good.
Tasty. I love it. And there's so many other things that you can do. This is just what I call, Megan and I, we talked to you about mirepoix. And so usually it's onions, carrots, celery. So for this base, to flavor our gravy,
To make it taste meaty without actually using meat is we're doing the mushrooms.
exactly, which I absolutely love. So while this is cooking down, let's talk about what's going to happen next. So in order to make the gravy thick, you need some flour. And so we're using today an all-purpose, just white flour. There's many companies that make gluten-free flours. Pamela's we love,
Cup for
Artisan, yes, Bob's Red Mill. But you just want kind of a benign flour.
You want like the artisanal one, like the white variation of it.
Exactly. And the trick with the gravies, you guys, is that you go ahead and you add the flour. Now, let me see, I'm going to use this. A little bit at a time. We're just going to sprinkle it on.
Because you don't want it to clump together.
Exactly. And so we're going to just start it getting going. And while we're doing this, in fact, Meg, I'm going to have you get all in there.
Okay.
And just keep adding it. And normally I would just sprinkle it in. The other way that you can do this, you guys, and by the way, I'm using a whisk to whisk this in. All right. And I'm just blending it all in.
So cute. She's standing on her tiptoes right now so she can see into this.
Well, because the whole trick of this
Is this still keep going?
Oh, yeah. We're going to keep going till almost. We're not going to use all of the 1/4 cup because then I'm going to teach you a little trick. If it doesn't get sick. One more. Let's do one more. It's about 3 tablespoons equal a 1/4 cup. And so this looks really good. So now,
I think it does.
as it's getting nice and brown and it's all incorporated, okay, then Meg, what we're going to take is we have warmed no chicken stock.
Can I do the whole thing?
No. We need just there's your little ladler. It's really good. Cooking with Megs on making gravy. Meg, do you remember helping us during Thanksgiving doing this? Yes. So one at a time.
I
That's
was
all it
more
is.
on the veggies. I wasn't a fan of the gravy so much.
Well, and Grandma usually helps with this gravy part.
Yes.
So go ahead and add another one.
My younger sisters were more on gravy duty.
It's definitely an art. We call it liquid gold at our house because when the turkey comes out, even though I'm not a huge turkey fan, but the smell and making the gravy is literally everything. It kind of tops off the whole thing. So go ahead and keep adding.
She loves it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm all about the sides. So I do a lot of the veggie prep. I do all the roasted veggies. That's like my everything when it comes to Thanksgiving because I love adding that. And what I consider gold are those mashed yams. I'm all about candied yams. I can't get enough of them.
I love that.
Maybe that's what we'll make next year. We'll do
the candy yam casserole.
candied yam casserole.
Yes.
Be so
So
good.
Meg, look how it's starting to thicken up already.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
So the thing is that as it you can keep adding.
Okay.
Because we're gonna use the majority of the liquid,
Okay.
and it's smelling really delicious.
I love the like earthiness of the thyme and the mushrooms together. It's really just, I can't wait to top this on
Okay,
top
we'll
of,
stop there.
like all the mashed potatoes and everything.
Oh, no, it's so good. And on stuffing, I'm a huge stuffing fan with gravy, so that's
Yes.
really awesome as well. So now while this is gonna it's like perfect.
I love how you can tell that the flour is like changing the color lighter. I think a good trick too is to know that if you're new to being gluten-free or dietary restriction, to ask your host at Thanksgiving if they've added flour into their gravy, because a lot of gravies are not gluten-free. So this is a great one that if you're going somewhere and you still want to have the gravy, you can make your own real quick.
Exactly. And the thing is, there's a difference between au jus and gravy. Au jus is just the pan drippings,
Yes.
where gravy does have the flour
To
in it.
thicken it, like you can see this is really thick and it has a little bit lighter color to it. Do you want me to do more?
No, what I want is the 2 added flavors. We're adding
Is this
one.
miso?
Yes, this
Miso
is a
base.
trick I learned. So it adds this lovely
Umami.
flavor to it, and so it's a tablespoon of a mellow, mild. And then there's
all of
also. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now it's getting even thicker.
Yes.
So I would go ahead and I would add a little more gravy to this.
Gravy, you mean the broth.
I mean the broth, the stock.
Add a little bit more broth. And so we just used this vegetarian, no chicken broth from Imagine. We love it. They don't add tomatoes to it, so this is our go-to whenever we're doing cleansing with food. However, we do have our own homemade chicken stock, which we will link in the description below.
The no chicken broth.
Our no chicken broth.
So
But we
good.
also have, I mean, if you're not vegetarian but you just want a mushroom gravy, we have our chicken stock that you can use as this as well. So I'll link
Exactly.
both of those.
And then the other flavoring, there's 2 more.
Got some soy sauce.
Is yes, a tablespoon of soy sauce, because what that will do is make it a little darker.
Yeah.
But the trick to getting it darker, if you really want dark, but so see how the color changed?
The longer you let the onions and the mushrooms
Yes,
caramelize,
the
the
brown.
darker it will get.
Exactly. And so this is this flavoring. Now, the other thing that you can add to this, Meg,
Yes.
is you can add wine. You can add sherry
Okay, so like
as a wine.
this is a Chardonnay.
Just like a
or
Chardonnay, like a
anything.
dry white wine, like about a half a cup if you want to add.
Got some dry sherry.
Another 1/4 cup to a half a cup of sherry. It's a little stronger, so you know I added a tablespoon at a time and then taste.
I like it. And then we have just some other.
And then that's masala. Gram masala, not gram masala, but just masala wine adds a nice flavor to it as well.
That will also, if you do these red or the sherry or anything, it'll make this darker too.
This is looking really good, Meg.
Yeah?
I'm gonna grab a spoon real quick.
And we'll give it a taste.
Yes. And then what this fun thing is to tell if it's thick enough. It sticks to your spoon. So depending on how thick you want it, and this is the other great thing about this, you guys, I'm gonna turn it off because this is good, is that you can make this a day, 2 days, 3 days ahead of your Thanksgiving, and then just reheat it lovely. And if it's too thick, go ahead and warm your broth.
Yes.
That's a trick too. If you add cold broth to this,
It just gets all clumpy.
it gets the clumpy.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you want to add warm broth, and then I was curious if you like it thin, could you puree this?
you could totally puree it, but you know what, Meg? You have to taste this. This
Is
is
it
so
so
good.
good?
It's just a lovely flavor to add on top of vegetables. It's like really good. You like
Like,
that?
is this acceptable to eat as a soup, just with like bread.
Oh my God. Yes. Actually, you know what you could do is they have a mushroom stock now at the market.
Oh yeah.
And you could totally use a mushroom stock instead of the no chicken stock. So use what you like. And then of course, find yourself a really cute gravy boat. And then you're just gonna stick this beautiful gravy in this gravy boat.
This literally took no time whatsoever. And this is our favorite little tips and tricks that we can be sharing with you for Thanksgiving. I know it's last minute because Thanksgiving is tomorrow. However, we do have our ultimate Thanksgiving guide, and if you are still kind of like SOS 101, I don't even know what to get started
We're
with,
your go-to girls.
go to currygirlskitchen.com, and on our homepage is the ultimate Thanksgiving guide. I'll also link that in the description below so you can check it out. We do, it's like day by day planning and
Day
how
by
to
day,
do.
even the day of.
Exactly.
But what to bring if you're a guest. And it's wonderful.
Yes.
So for this full recipe, go to currygirlskitchen.com. And if you don't follow us on Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook and
Yes.
Twitter.
And if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, because every Wednesday, aside from the past couple where we've gotten off track, but every Wednesday we are sharing new recipe videos. And make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let us know that you're liking these recipes, and comment. We love hearing from you.
Oh.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week with another delicious recipe video or video.
And happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We're grateful for you.
Happy Thanksgiving.